Today, I want to give you 5 ways that you can promote your Shopify store. Now, to give you a little bit more value, I'm not going to run through them all and just be like, 1 is Google AdWords, 2 is Bing ads, 3 is Facebook ads, and give you all the ad platforms because we all know the ad platforms and they'll be number 1, and I'll talk about them in a second. But I'm going to give you 4 other innovative ways that you can promote your Shopify store on top of that you might not have thought of. I think that'll give you a little bit more value. It'll give you a little bit, of information to get you thinking outside the box and kind of give you a little, examples of things that I've done successfully and things that you can take and implement to your own Shopify store. Number 1 is Google, is just the ad platforms. Google AdWords, as we are right here, Facebook ads, and then Bing ads. All 3 of those are great ways to, basically run ads to your store. Now, you're going to need to hone down and get the ads to your store profitable. You're not going to be able to have a successful dropshipping store without, basically running ads, in my opinion. Now, if you have a friend that's an influencer, or you can get influencing cheap, and that's something we'll talk about in a second, then that might certainly help you. But you're definitely going to have to hone down your demographics on your ads, regardless of if you're using Bing ads, Google AdWords, or Facebook ads. So pick one of them. In my specific experience, I would suggest doing either Google AdWords or realistically Facebook ads, because the conversion rate, in my opinion, on Facebook ads and targeting is a little bit easier depending on your niche, with ads. So first and foremost, we're going to get all of them out of the way: Google AdWords, Bing ads, and Facebook ads. Now, number 2 is using Instagram influencer. Paying influencers to basically, whether you're getting them to, put a story out, which is probably the best way now. Put a story out and get that swipe up link, but you have to make sure that they're a business so that they get that, they're able to do the swipe up and sell your product that way. You can pay an influencer to do that, or you can pay them to, rent their bio link for a certain period of time and, have them post for you. And a specific example here is, I actually sell influencing things like that as well on this one and on my whiskey Instagram that I've talked about previously, because I don't really use them anymore. I use them to kind of demonstrate for you guys here on this channel. My whiskey Instagram is obviously based around whiskey, and I used to I used to promote my Amazon whiskey glass, when I was private labeling that whiskey glass on that page. And for this specific example that you're seeing right here, this official Back the Blue, which is basically supporting police officers, and backing the blue and stuff like that. This used to be my dropshipping Instagram, believe it or not, and I used to target follow on this. But for right now specifically, I just kind of sell shout outs and stuff like that. And you can see I get decent engagement on a lot of these, a lot of comments and stuff like that. But that's one way that you can generate traffic to your Shopify store. So you can pay an Instagram influencer in your niche. Obviously, make sure that they're getting good engagement on their posts. You don't want to pay somebody, that just has X amount of followers, but their engagement, compared to those followers, isn't that great. It's important to keep, take that into consideration. But paying an Instagram influencer is probably a really, really good way to go and a good return on your investment. I don't suggest paying somebody with a crazy following, because then you're going to be paying, a ridiculous amount. But shoot for somebody right around this 20,000 mark, or maybe up to 50,000 roughly. But make sure that they have good engagement. You're going to get the most bang for your buck that way. It's going to reach the majority of the audience, and you're going to potentially see a return on your investment. And I also suggest that instead of doing the posts and the bio link, ask them to do a story, because that reaches so many more people. So that's number 2, is paying an Instagram influencer in your niche. Number 3 is going to stick with Instagram, and that's target following. So what target following is, to give you a brief example and an overview of it, if you don't know what it is already, is basically if I were specifically, if this were my Instagram, and I was trying to generate traffic to my dropshipping bio link, we'll just pretend that this is my dropshipping store right here. What I would do is I would target follow other pages that are in my niche, that have engagement on them already. So I would search for something like, police something or Back the Blue, and I would search for another page that, basically gets good engagement. Like this one's okay, decent engagement. So what I would do is I'd basically follow the people that engage with their latest posts, because they're active, they're targeted around this niche, they're clearly, more inclined to like police stuff and more inclined therefore to buy from my store because they're into that stuff and they've engaged on this page. So obviously the key is in target following the right pages and making sure there's engagement. But it's a great way to generate traffic, not just to a dropshipping store, but any website or e-commerce site in general across the board. So next is, kind of staying along the lines of Instagram influencers, but it's actually, believe it or not, a lot of people do the Instagram influencers or the target following, but for whatever reason, they don't take that over to Facebook. And so number 4 is, paying a Facebook ad or a Facebook page, or renting a Facebook page post. And there's a lot of great Facebook pages that you can find. I just found 2 of them here right now. So let's say, use the specific example for me, like I was, potentially dropshipping in my old dropshipping store that was like basically selling, police merchandise, police pride, back the blue and stuff like that. Well, I would go to Facebook and I would find a specific targeted, Facebook page that has, a good following, gets decent engagement, and, obviously you want to check their posts to make sure that they get decent engagement on their posts, and these kind of do. And then what you do is you would, reach out to them and ask if, you could potentially pay them to make a post. Now, the key is here not to have them link to your store directly in the post, because if you know anything about Facebook definitely kills the visibility of posts that link outside of Facebook. Facebook wants, just like Instagram in a lot of ways and YouTube in a lot of ways and a lot of different sites like that, all social media wants people to stay on that platform. So Facebook kills the visibility. If you have a page post, to your dropshipping store, you're not going to get as much bang for your buck and visibility on that post. Even if they have, 526,000 people, that number of people are not going to see your post, because Facebook's killing the visibility of that. It's important to understand that aspect. So you don't want to have them linked to your store. Instead, what you want to do is you want to have them post a tasteful picture, or maybe even a story on Facebook now, and basically in the picture put some text that says, if you're interested in getting this for a special discount or something like that, or free shipping for a limited time, check the website or the shop now link above, in the description. And what you can do is you can basically rent their link for the time being, kind of like an Instagram bio link, and then obviously pay them to post. So rent their link and pay them to post at the same time, and not necessarily post your link specifically in their post, because that will kill your visibility. Instead, like I said, rent their button and pay them to post for, to generate traffic to their button, which will then take those people to your specific dropshipping store. So specifically this person, this page right here has a shop now button, which if we look, it appears to me to be a dropshipping store of some sort, and it definitely probably is. So you could rent their button for a specific period in time, maybe an hour or two, and have them post, and then that could potentially generate traffic to 526,000 people that are going to potentially see that post and engage with it. So you can build brand awareness in that way, and it's a really, really great way to do that. Like I said, a lot of people take that to Instagram and run with it with influencers on Instagram, but for whatever reason they don't take it over to Facebook groups, and there's a lot of, or Facebook pages, and there's a lot of great Facebook pages that are targeted around niches just the same as Instagram pages that you should be taking advantage of. Now, number 5 and finally is staying with Facebook, but it's actually joining different Facebook groups. Now, this is something that I do across the board. I do this when I post for my courses. I do this when I sell, private label products. I do this when I do drop shipping. I do this with everything across the board. What I do is I go to Facebook and I go to the groups tab and I search for the niche. Of course, I logged out, so we'll just pretend that I'm not going to log back in to show you my password, but basically to give you a gist of this, and this is something I talk about a lot, is you can go ahead and join Facebook groups around your targeted niche. So if we stay with the police example, or police pride, I would search for groups in that niche as well. If specifically, I always like to use the baseball example. If you're dropshipping baseball items or stuff like that, then you would join targeted groups around baseball, or baseball enthusiasts, or people that like the MLB or something like that. And then what you would do is you would ingratiate yourself into that group slowly, and then a week or two from then you could start slowly posting things to your store, or hey, I just found out this I found this cool store with free shipping if anybody is looking to check it out. The key with Facebook groups or Reddit groups or anything like, or Reddit subreddits or anything like that, is not necessarily posting your link and just spamming your link into those groups. You want to go ahead and join a bunch of them, so you don't just have to be limited to one group. You can join 10, 20, 30 groups, and then slowly comment in them once or twice a week. Ingratiate yourself into those groups so that people start seeing you more and more, and then you become a member of those group communities. And then when you post, your post will be much, much, much more likely to be received, and therefore people will convert on those posts and actually go and listen to you and go to the dropshipping store potentially, because you ingratiated yourself and took the time to converse with them in the group. You didn't just spam your link. So that's something to keep in mind. Just to recap real fast, we have the ads, obviously, that's number 1. We have Google AdWords, Bing ads, Facebook ads, You're going to have to, run ads and get profitable ads to be successful with a dropshipping store. It's just that simple in my opinion. Number 2 is Instagram influencers. Number 3 is target following. Number 4 would be paying, just like Instagram influencers. I can't talk today. Just like paying Instagram influencers, pay Facebook pages around the same targeted niche. And number 5 would be join Facebook groups. Scale it up, join 20 groups, join 30 groups, join 50 groups, I don't care, whatever it is, and then slowly ingratiate yourself into those targeted groups. So I hope that you guys really, really like these tips. I thought that they were really good ways to, innovative strategies that a lot of people don't necessarily think of.